Thanks for listening to Inside Real Estate with Kim McCarty. With over 20 years of experience, Kim McCarty specializes in the North Texas market and will guide you through the complicated world of real estate.
All right, back with Kim McCarty. And once again, I start every episode by saying I love doing these things because I learn so much.
You know, everybody loves to talk real estate.
They do, don't they?
They do. Everybody loves to talk real estate. It doesn't matter if I bring it up or not. The topic always comes up.
Because there's so much to know.
There is.
And you have so much information that people, I'm sure, that's when I was in sports talk radio, they all, hey, who's going to win the game today? And
I even want to know all your sports talk stuff. I'm always like interested in all the past players that you know. So I get it. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody kind of wants to know about real estate. They have real estate. Everybody either owns a home or wants to own a home. So, yeah.
Okay, we're going to talk about hidden value, hidden factors today.
Okay.
And the way I'll put it, and I'll be very, it's not sexist because it's just my situation.
Okay.
If me and my wife were in the market for a home now,
all right,
I can guarantee you that I would be looking at completely different set of factors than she is.
And that's always the case.
And my factors would be the factors that you can't see.
Right. And it's funny because most men, when I'm showing a home to a husband and a wife, they instantly separate and go different directions. Mm-hmm. So she's looking at the kitchen and all the bells and whistles of the home. And he goes instantly to the garage.
Yes.
And he opens the electrical panel, or he opens the garage, or he's looking for the ACs and he's outside looking at those. He's running and flushing toilets. I always love that one when people start flushing toilets and turning on water. That one cracks me up. But that's usually how it happens, is the men go one way and the women go the other.
And where I would be going would be
the garage.
The garage, for sure.
They all go there.
I'd go to the attic.
Okay. And most men ask me, can I pull down the attic and get in there? Sure.
And I would be looking for a couple things in the attic.
Okay.
And one thing is just, it's idiotic because I would never do this.
Okay.
But could I turn this attic into another room?
Oh, no, people
like
look
Brady
at that.
Bunch.
Yes, like the Brady Bunch. No, there's some walk-in attics in a lot of the newer construction. Mm-hmm. There are some walk-in attics that you could finish those spaces out. So that's not crazy to think about. But I do have a lot of men who want to get up in that attic and look at how much floor decking they have up there for all the stuff they're going to be storing in their attic.
And that's the second thing I would be looking at, is the floor decking. And here's the thing, and I think I'm good at giving advice to dudes.
Right.
Especially on this first time homebuyer thing. Okay. Here's the thing. 90% of the stuff you put in your attic, you are never ever going to see again.
Until you have to move it out.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. So be very careful what you think you're going to use again and you're going to put it in the attic. And I've gotten to the point where I cleaned out my attic about 8 years into the house, and I knew, and the way I cleaned it out, I didn't.
You threw it down from the attic,
basically, and I didn't specifically set a day. I'm going to go clean the attic. It's the day that I go up and get the Christmas decorations.
Okay.
And I look around and say, you know what? I'm already up here. I'm not going to use this again. I mean, old telephones.
Oh,
it's like,
wow.
Why did I keep this? Stuff like that. So, men.
Yes.
You put something in the attic, you're never going to see it again.
Never
you're not
again.
Gonna use it again.
I've even had people that when they move out, they will say to me, we don't want anything in the attic. The buyers can have it. And I said, no. They don't want your treasures. You need to get all your treasures out.
And even if you're not even close to a hoarder,
it's
the stuff that you
always
can accumulate over the course of even like 6 years in a house.
It's crazy.
Is absolutely crazy. Now, there is a point where it turns from hoarding to, hey, it's kind of cool that I kept that.
Right. Yes.
But even the stuff that's kind of cool that I kept that, it's cool for like 30 minutes.
Are you going to really try to sell it and make any money? Probably not.
And then like the old junior high yearbook.
Right.
Okay. I see that. Hey, that's cool that I kept that. And then I look at it for 30 minutes and it's back in the attic.
Right. For your kids to one day have to get rid of.
So there's a lot of things that you think is cool at the time, and at the end it's not.
It's not.
Okay. But the third thing I would look at in the attic is the insulation.
Right.
And radiant barrier.
Radiant barrier, yes. Insulation. Everyone says that. There's not a whole lot of insulation up there. My answer to that question usually is the inspector, when he comes out he will tell us how much insulation's up there and if it's adequate for the size of the home and for the age of the home. Of course, you can always add more insulation.
I thought for sure that was going to be your answer. That
Yes.
Look, you're not going to let insulation keep you from buying your dream house.
You should never let that keep you.
Yeah.
And if that is going to be the bone of contention for you, then you're a candidate for a new build, not for a resale home.
True.
And there are people who are candidates for a new construction versus resale.
Okay, and then the other thing that I would look at, and I think I'm pretty genius on this. I know that I didn't invent this, but I would look for, and I can tell you in my house, I would have to fix this,
Okay.
is anything around the AC vents.
Right.
To look for discoloration.
Right.
Mold.
Mold.
That would be
Yes.
kind of an indication that, hey, maybe this homeowner didn't pay as much attention to this as he should have. And what does that mean about other things in the house?
True. And I think you can tell a lot when you go in and you see the cleanliness. I think, that's one of the things that I always tell buyers when we're looking at houses. They are wowed by the shiny things.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, did we just put lipstick on a pig? And have we not really taken the time to maintain the home? Mm-hmm. And then that's really more important than the shiny things.
Yes.
So things that maybe you don't know that they've spent money on that are going to be important would be the ACs, for example. Are they maintained? If they're original, they're still working, but have they been maintained yearly? I think in our climate in Texas, we need to maintain those at least a minimum of twice a year. Have somebody come out and service those. It's going to add the longevity to those systems. So have they replaced them? If they have, when was it? Windows are another thing that we can't really see, but have they been replaced? I mean, we can see them, of course, but we don't know if they're original or they brand new. So that's one of the things that might be a little bit of a cost that the sellers put in that we're going to pay forward a little bit.
Okay.
Not 100%, but maybe something.
Okay, and that leads me to other just like minor cosmetic things that I would look for, and would probably be way too picky about this because I probably am a candidate for a new home.
New construction.
Because I'm allergic to the thought, and maybe as you and I talk more, I can get unallergic, if that's a word, to the thought. I'm allergic to the thought of paying for other people's problems.
A lot of people say that, and it really just depends on location. What if you're wanting an area that there isn't really any more new construction going on, and if you're in certain parts of Collin County, that is for sure the truth of certain cities are landlocked at this point.
Yes.
So there isn't some new construction. But if you want to be in that area, we're going to have to look at resale. So making sure that we're looking for something that has been maintained, hopefully. We always are going to do an inspection. You're always going to have an opportunity to make requests for repairs. And you're always going to have an opportunity to back out during that option period.
Okay, and that's where I'm going with this, about it being well maintained and taken care of. And I'm probably just stupid about this, but I would look at things like the baseboards.
Well, just to see if they've been maintained, like they're not scuffed up. And,
Yes.
Yeah. That probably wouldn't stop me from buying a house because that's easy. That's paint.
Well, no, but my thought would be, if the baseboards aren't maintained, what else wasn't maintained?
True.
That's what I would be looking at. And my wife would be looking at all the cosmetic stuff.
The shiny things.
Yes. And I would be looking at, okay, and I'd probably go overboard, but oh my gosh, they didn't even care about that scuff on the baseboard.
Right.
What does that mean about the plumbing here?
Right.
What does that
And
mean
you
about the
take
water
it from A to Z.
Yes.
Right. And a lot of buyers do that. Mm-hmm. So having somebody who can actually bring you back to reality
Yes.
and say, you know what, all these things that you're talking about, these are things that are probably not that important in the grand scheme of things. The baseboard's probably not that important in the grand scheme of things. The AC, if it's working and it's been maintained, you continue to maintain it, and it will probably continue to last for the full life expectancy of that AC unit. But that's one of the major concerns is you're buying an older home that is 10 to 15 years old. Well, that's the life expectancy of an AC unit here in
Yes.
Texas, 10 to 15 years. So you're going to have to budget for an AC unit. We cannot ask the seller to replace an AC unit that is working and is functioning as intended just because you might have to replace it in a year.
Okay, so are these the types of things that you tell your buyers? As you're
Absolutely.
looking at a house?
Absolutely. Because put the shoe on the other foot. And that's what I always try to do. Let's put the shoe on the other foot. If you were selling this home and this were your home and your ACs had been maintained and your ACs were working, would you replace an AC unit for $10,000 just because?
Absolutely not.
No.
Absolutely not.
So why would we expect them to?
Okay, so that leads me to another question. As a homeowner, should I be maintaining those records if I get my AC?
I would, yes. So if you have an AC company come out every 2 years to service your units, then I would definitely keep the receipts, keep a running history of what's been done, what's been replaced, because that is going to be a lot easier for a buyer to look at that and say, well, you know what? They are 15 years old, but you know what? They're working and they've been maintained. The other thing is a lot of these heating and air companies have a service agreement that they do. It's about $200 usually a year, and they come out twice a year for $200. That's cheaper than having them come out on your own twice a year. So you might look into hiring one of this AC companies to do that.
See, and I like that because to me it gives them accountability also.
Absolutely. And they're up there making sure everything's working and making sure it's in good working condition. So if you do that twice a year, you're going to increase your longevity of those units so that when you go to sell them, hopefully when you sell the house, then you don't have to replace all those things.
Okay, so there's a lot of hidden factors there. As you said, people look at the shiny things.
They do, and they forget about. But when you are doing, let's just say that you have put in new ACs and you've put in new hot water heaters, maybe some new windows, things that maybe people don't see right off the bat. It's important to let the agent know, hey, here's what we've done, so that when you are asking maybe a little bit more for your home compared to the rest of the homes in the neighborhood, you might find that a buyer appreciates, okay, we're not going to have to spend $10,000 on a new unit. It's already done. We're not going to have to spend $1,000 on a new hot water heater, which we all know those go out like year 8, they're done, so those are the things that, although they're hidden, they are things that as an agent, I would want to know about, because I might be able to help get you, Mr. Seller, a little bit more money because you've done it. Now, I can't get you the full dollar to dollar value, but I can help sell those things and help get you more money in your pocket.
Okay. And things may have changed since I bought my house, but the finance company, the mortgage company, wants to get the appraisal done to make sure that
the house is worth what you're paying.
So if you're the seller and you're and the house is about to get appraised, do you have to notify the appraiser, hey, here's some things that...
Most people don't. So what I do when I have a listing, I actually meet the appraisers at the house. What I have found in the market that we've been in the last three years or so, when we are getting offers and the offer is going over list price, in order to help keep that additional equity in my seller's pocket, it's important for me to meet those appraisers out there and say, okay, here's why the house sold for $10,000 more. I had 10 offers. Here are all the front pages of the offers. Here's why it sold for $10,000. They just put in new AC units. They just did new hot water heaters, and 15 of the 20 windows in the kitchen were replaced, or whatever we need to do. So, in the roof, things like that. So I'm going to make sure that the appraiser knows that the seller has done those items so that hopefully I don't have an appraisal issue. My rule of thumb is I don't want to price the house initially any higher than what I know it will appraise for. And if it goes above what I'm comfortable it appraising for, then I'm going to make sure I document all the things that you've done that a buyer has put money on in order to get the house to help keep that additional equity in your pocket.
Okay, that's great. And you don't know this, but our next episode is going to be about pricing your home.
Pricing it right, pricing it to sell.
All right, how can people get a hold of you?
214-662-9308 and online at themccartygrouprealtors.com.
Thanks for listening. Please be sure to share this episode with your family and friends. If you'd like more information about Kim, just go over to her website, themccartygrouprealtors.com, or give her a call at 214-662-9308.